What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Average Investor, where anyone can build wealth, even the average investor. And if you are new to this channel, it's all about personal finance, investing in real estate. In today's video, I want to dive into what my investing strategy has really come to this year, because it has changed a bunch, as well as where we are going to be going in the future. And as always, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can become a part of the Average Investor family, as well as do not forget to like this video because it helps me out a ton, and it also just starts pushing the knowledge to more people. So don't forget to do that. Now, I feel like this video is extremely necessary because I'm sure a lot of you have followed the Average Investor, for, I guess it was about almost a year now. We're like 5 days away from a year. And most of you guys have been following me because of me just, with my experience in the stock market and following my journey there as we were building wealth in the stock market. But as of recently, I've really started to shift my interest to the real estate world. Guys, not only am I making this video to show you kind of where my mindset is moving into 2022, I also want to make this video to hear from you guys, and please leave it down in the comments. What exactly do you guys want to see? Did you enjoy the stock market and the investing and, the crypto side of things, or do you guys enjoy the real estate side of things more? Guys, I really want this YouTube channel and this YouTube family to go both ways. So yes, though my interests and my passions have changed over 2021, first starting really in the stock market, but then changing over into real estate, I want to make sure I'm putting out content that you guys find interesting. Now, I'm more than happy to keep putting out content about the stock market and real estate and kind of do a hybrid, or if it's like, I want to just mainly focus on real estate and kind of put the stock market aside, or, revert back to really where this channel came from and focus more on the stock market. But guys, if we just do a quick recap here and a little bit of a throwback, at the beginning of this year, I was working in a sales job doing financial technology sales. And when you have a 9-to-5 job, in fact, it was an 8-to-5 job, the stock market was much easier for me to manage. I just had my invest passively automatically every single month doing dollar cost averaging. And I was just putting money into the stock market. I didn't have to go look at properties. I didn't have to basically run a full-time job on the real estate side of things. I was just focused strictly on the stock market. And if you're sitting in this position right now where you have a full-time job and you have no interest in the real estate market, and you're like, I don't care at all, I just want to put my money to the side and I want to keep working my 9-to-5 job, I love my 9-to-5 job, then I am all for that. I completely understand the headaches of clicking a button just to put your money into a stock or into your Roth IRA or into a 401k or whatever it might be. That is so much easier to manage over 10 rental properties. In fact, I think Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, actually put it really well. If you don't want to study, meaning you don't want to invest a lot of time into something, you should do the stock market, bonds, mutual funds, index funds. You should do that because you don't have to put in the time to study the markets really, really aggressively. You can just put your money in there and kind of let it float. But with the real estate, it's going to take a lot of studying, a lot of time, and it's basically like learning an entire new language or learning a new sport. But now, if you're someone who does want to get out of the 9-to-5 job, you want to get out of that world and you're like, I'm kind of stuck. Yes, the stock market can be a really great way to start building wealth over the long term. And I'm still going to be keeping my Roth IRA. Don't get me wrong. I'm not liquidating those things. I haven't even liquidated any of my stocks or my index funds so far. However, I want to start making money, tomorrow and the next day, and basically not have to wait until I'm 55 or 60 to really start tapping into that money. And guys, for me, and the entire reason why I made this YouTube channel, this TikTok page, and this entire movement is so the average investor, the average person like you and me can really start building wealth. And I think the more that I've started to put my time into real estate, the couple of deals I've already done, I can see the exponential potential of real estate over the stock market. And I think there's a ton of advantages going that way. Now, I admit it, I'm definitely biased towards real estate right now, just because that's the thing. That's really my entrepreneurial itch is in real estate right now. But for me personally, and what I think for the viewers is, if you do want to put in the time, you do want to study, I think real estate is definitely the best way to build wealth over the long term. Now, just like I used to talk with the stock market in terms of my strategy with index funds and my Roth IRA, that is a low, slow going way of building wealth over the long term. That's my same mindset going to real estate. I'm really not looking to flip a bunch of houses in the short term to make a lot of short-term capital gains and have to pay taxes on that. I would much rather keep my money in the properties, especially in an inflating market, keep my money in the property so it's going to appreciate over time. But in addition, I'll still get the cash flow from that as well. So at the beginning of this year, obviously, I was way more focused into index funds and the stock market. I think they're great. If you don't want to put any time into it, you just want to close your eyes and throw money into, broad market index funds with low expenses, I think they're still a great way to go if you don't want to invest the time. But however, as I quit my job and I had a lot more time, I was like, now I can really start investing my time into learning how to use real estate, how to use it as a tool, how to build wealth in it. Again, as I just mentioned, I think it is the best way for the average investor to really start building wealth. So I'm about to break down my mindset going into 2022 in terms of my investing strategy and where I want to go for the long term. And when I'm laying that all out, please leave down in the comments what you guys will find really interesting. Like, what would you guys want to see on this YouTube channel? Because as I mentioned, it's a two-way street. If you find me, sitting at this desk breaking down deals, numbers, you find that interesting, then please let me know. Or would it be, a combination of me going out in the field, showing you guys these properties that I'm really getting my hands on and breaking down the start to finish, or the start to where I am now, and it kind of exposing exactly that entire process, like the good and the bad. Please let me know down below. So going into 2022, I'm definitely focused on putting my money into value add real estate and keeping it there. So what do I mean by value add? Basically not buying these, 2021 new build buildings, buying these older properties, and I mean, they don't have to be that much older, but that need some loving, some rehabbing, some, fixing up and putting back together. If I can find those properties and it's worth my time to add the value in those properties, it could be a really, really big play for me in the short term and in the long term. So to push that a little bit further, my mindset going into 2022, I'm really want to focus on buying these long-term rentals, as well as if I can find any good short-term rentals like Airbnbs, and I know I've mentioned that on my channel a couple of times. I mean, I would love to do that, especially if they're a cash cow. And what I'm currently envisioning and what I'm thinking is basically just walking you through my journey. I have not even bought one rental property yet. We actually have a flip right now under contract, as well as a property that we're pretty bullish on that we want to get under contracted is a duplex. So hopefully if I can get those things under my belt, and I'm doing them with partners, which will be great because they're smarter than me, both for the flip and for the long-term rental, I can show you kind of what their expertise is. Obviously, they're not perfect. They're not the smartest human beings ever in this world. Neither am I, but showing that humility and showing you the good, the bad, the evil, so you guys won't make the same mistakes. So something that I find really helpful when I'm watching these real estate videos of, these people on YouTube, I really find the process, breaking down the process, super, super helpful for me. So seeing, putting in an offer to getting the property under contract to once you close that property, how am I going to manage that property? Or am I even going to rehab that property? There's so many different ways that you can go, and I think that's the most fun about it. But showing you guys exactly kind of my mindset, our shortcomings, our successes, showing all of that, I think would be the most interesting for me. But again, I'm making these videos for y'all. And as it stands now, I am working on some investing goals in the middle of December. So by the time next year, I mean, it's the cliche year-end resolution, but I really want to start putting some focus more onto real estate and having a number to at least stretch for. I don't want to make it too easy, but I want it to be a goal that I can stretch for. I'll definitely share that with you guys when I get there, but if I see it now, it's going to be, a handful of rentals, understanding how to, buy these rentals, how to manage them, showing you the good, the bad, the evil, how I get the cash flow in, how I'm thinking about how that property will appreciate over the long term, as well as where I'm standing on the stock market. So for me personally right now, I have some money sitting on the sideline right now for properties, but let's say I've expended all of that money. I can't put any more of my own money out there. What I'm thinking about doing is going into my taxable accounts. So I'm not talking about my Roth IRA, but I'm talking about my taxable brokerage accounts, liquidating those, paying taxes. Please tell the IRS not to come after me. I will pay my taxes on those gains and then take that money and then put it into real estate as well. And the amazing thing about this, if I am buying the right deals and the right properties, then I will be able to show you guys the cash flow that I'm getting in my pocket every single month, as well as the appreciation and the principal pay down of me buying these properties, holding them, and basically renting them out to tenants. So that's really my mindset going into 2022. But as I mentioned earlier, real estate is one of those those things that you have to study, you have to put the time into, just like Robert Kiyosaki was saying. Like, stock market is great for people that don't want to put the time into it. They're sold on their 9-to-5 job. They don't have enough hours in the day that they want to dedicate to learning about real estate. Stick to the stock market, stick to the VTSAX, the large index funds. But for me right now, and maybe for you right now, you have the time that you're sitting there, you're like, I want to read some books. I want to start listening to podcasts. Maybe I want to watch the Average Investor's YouTube channels and the YouTube videos so I can learn what I can do to build my real estate business. See, that's where my dedication, I'm completely fine with, by investing my time and my money and my resources and building connections in the real estate world. Because if you go back to literally the very first video on this YouTube channel, it's all about, my journey to financial freedom. Now, at that time, I was like, I'm cool doing with the stock market because I haven't even tapped into the real estate world. But as we start to, evolve as people and kind of our investing style starts to change, then I'm showing that live here really on my YouTube channel. I was really, sold in the stock market, made a good amount of money in there, haven't sold any of it yet, but I'm more than happy to liquidate that to then put it into these assets that I think will benefit me in the long term better than just the stock market. At the end of the day, guys, even if your investing style doesn't line up with mine, or let's say it's perfectly aligned with mine, I think all of us really do strive for that financial freedom where we could basically wake up every single day and choose to do the things that we want to do and work because we want to and not because we have to. I think that is a goal that a lot of people probably watching this YouTube channel strive for, and I think real estate is probably the best way with that monthly cash flow coming in, and also so many ways you can structure deals. I just think for the long run, that's going to be the best strategy for me to hit the level of financial freedom that I want to. So all of that being said, guys, please leave your questions, comments, and your opinions down in the comment section. I'm very genuinely, curious to see what you guys have to say. That's really my mindset going forward. I hope that, interests you. It definitely fires me up, and it's a lot of things that I'm passionate in. So I'm super pumped to do it, but I just want to make sure everyone is on the same page here. But with all that being said, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see this journey from literally 0 to, 100 units or whatever we really get to. Hopefully it's more than that in the long term, but hopefully you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you won't miss any of those videos, as well as do not forget to hit that thumbs up button to start pushing this video to more people. Again, it would really, really help me out, and hopefully you guys are excited, just as excited as I am, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.